Hey, what's up? Steve Mortenson. Welcome to another smallmouth addiction. Today's video, I want to break down to you guys a tournament that I got to compete in called Head2Head Fishing back in July of 2020, just a few months ago back. And I want to break down what happened in this kind of exciting video. So hopefully you guys enjoy the video. All that coming up next. Hey guys, in this video I'm going to break down you guys a recent tournament that I was in, but before I get into that, I just first want to apologize and say sorry that I haven't put out some videos over the last several months. I've just been so busy since COVID and like the beginning of April, as soon as the ice went out. I've been on the water almost every single day. It's been crazy. Guys can't get into Canada to go do their fishing trips, so my phone's been blowing up for guide trips, and I barely had off a day besides either guiding or pre-fishing for tournaments or fishing tournaments. I've not had any time to do any editing of any videos, and editing takes a while. So my season's winding down. I got a few trips scheduled coming up, and then after that I think I got one tournament, maybe two little small tournaments that are here in Wisconsin. I might be doing some Bassmaster Open or some other bigger events down south, but we'll see what happens with that. But I finally got some time now to start editing some videos, get you guys some hopefully weekly content, some pretty exciting stuff that I've been filming all summer long. So I'm going to get in the Smallmouth Addiction studio here, do some editing for you guys, and show you some great video. So with that being said, I want to break down to you guys a recent tournament that I was in this summer. It's a little different than other tournaments. So back in July, on the Mississippi River in LaCrosse, I got to compete in, it was actually 3 different tournaments right in a row. So I was practicing, I think it was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in LaCrosse. I was staying at the Goose Island area, which was in LaCrosse, just a little way south, Pool 8. And during practice, I kind of stuck in one area. I was going to go exploring more, but I just didn't have a whole lot of time like I really wanted to commit to actually really expanding, because I knew I was going to be there for several days for 3 different tournaments. So the FLW tournament that I was in was on a Saturday, and I didn't do too good in that one. I didn't cash a check or anything. Sunday, I was in this new series called the Wisco series, Wisco Bass here in Wisconsin, and I didn't do too good in that one. And I was looking for fish for both of those tournaments and for this other tournament coming up on that following Monday. The difference between these 2 tournaments that I competed on Saturday and Sunday, there were a 3-fish limit, and the reason there was a 3-fish limit is because the water gets really warm that time of year, and just for the safety of the fish, the DNR only allows you to keep 3 fish in your live well. So I didn't do too good in those tournaments. So Monday comes along, and now I've been on the water Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday in a tournament, Sunday in a tournament, and now Monday is this head-to-head tournament. And head-to-head is a new format where you catch the fish, you weigh the fish right away, and then you release it back into the water. So it's called catch, weigh, release. You have 5 hours of fish. It's you against another competitor, and you get live updates throughout those 5 hours, and there's certain rules you have to follow, otherwise you get penalties. One of the rules is a fish cannot touch the carpet. So once you get that fish in the boat, he cannot touch the carpet. If he does, you get a 2-minute penalty where you can't do anything. If you have to get out of the boat for any reason, 2-minute penalty. If you release the fish above the gunnel of the boat and not beneath the gunnel of the boat, you get a 2-minute penalty. So those are some of the main penalties that you can get. There's other ones too. But those are the main ones that you really got to watch. And those penalties can add up if you're not careful. So what I want to do now is I want to play you guys. This is a pretty long video. It's all the parts of basically my experience fishing with a camera crew, pretty much being in my boat. And as you'll see, I made it every day. Made it to the final 4, which was really cool. And there was all kinds of exciting stuff happening. You'll kind of see how it unfolded for me. You'll see on my day off, something happened. Angler ended up hitting a sandbar with his boat right in front of me as I was sitting at the campground, kind of rigging up my baits for the next day. And you kind of see, I put that video in there so you can kind of see that, because that was kind of exciting. Unfortunately, it happened to the gentleman Ron, and so I had to call the tournament director. But when I play the video, I'll kind of narrate through some of the stuff so you guys can kind of see what happened in this video. So I hope you guys enjoy it. So with all that being said, let me get the video going, and hopefully you guys enjoy this new tournament series called Head-to-Head Fishing.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Head-to-Head Fishing. I'm Matt Trott. Standing next to me is Andy, and we're here today to start off day 1 of Bassing on the Border.
I have been waiting for this event because I love watching and participating in fishing the Mississippi River. The Mississippi River is like nothing else, and I cannot wait to have a front row seat as we watch 16 guys go through this event and through all of the changing conditions that the Mississippi River will bring.
Yeah, I mean, with the flyover going in the background, you can see, and during the parent show, you and Kyle covered this really well. There's tons and tons of water between 7, 8, and 9, which are the pools we're fishing.
It is as much endless water as you can imagine if you're a fisherman. If you're talking fishing 3 different pools, it's almost 70 miles, I mean, just lengthwise. But when you start taking into account shoreline with all of the backwater, it's endless. It's endless. But the Mississippi River, if you want to be able to be consistent on the Mississippi River, 1, you have to know how to read current.
Yep.
You have to know how fish position in current.
Yep.
2, you better be able to adapt. And not just from day to day, hour by hour. Because the water can fluctuate. If you get an increase in flow, it's going to change the water clarity. If the water drops, you might not be able to get to some fish that you wanted to get to.
Especially in not a lot of the backwater areas that you're talking about. The main river is always going to stay pretty high and navigable. But you get into a backwater spot where there's fish today, they may not be there tomorrow.
Right. Now, traditionally, when you watch bass events, right? I mean, we're used to seeing these nice big fiberglass boats. You know what I mean? You're these nice, shiny fiberglass boats. You're going to see a few boats this week that are not what you would consider traditional. But to river guys,
it's what you need to have.
It's just standard equipment.
Right.
We're talking smaller, thinner, lighter boats that are able to get in, through, over, under, right? What they need to be able to get to the fish.
Yep.
So it is going to be exciting today, because you're going to be sitting there going, is this a bass event when you're looking at this narrow aluminum boat? Yeah, it is.
So the other thing that's going to be kind of critical too today is we're coming off a weekend event where there was multiple weekend events going on. Saturday was a BFL, Sunday was a Wisco, pretty much the same stretch of water. Congratulations to Brian Eisch, who won that Wisco event. You know, more deserving guy out there. I can't find one.
No.
So the pressure has been put on this stretch of water over the last couple of days.
Right. And in looking at those events, just going through, it did look like it was a little on the tougher side.
Yep.
You know, there were some big fish caught. There were 4-pound fish caught in the events. The winning weights, you know, it was a 3-fish limit. We'll kind of break that down a little bit as we go on. But the 3-fish limit for those guys, the winner averaged a little over 3 pounds of fish. I mean, that's a good bag.
That's a nice bag.
That's a good bag. But it's one of those events where as you start getting down, there was 111 boats in the Wisco event.
Yep.
And as you start getting down, they had 33 anglers that did not bring a legal fish back to be weighed. So that tells you right there, it's a little bit tougher. The BFL that was out there looked like it reflected very much the same thing. So it's going to be interesting. And the other thing is, it gives you an indication, but because of our format, it doesn't really tell you what those guys are around. They're only bringing 3 fish back.
During those events,
So we don't know if they caught 3 fish all day or if they caught 100 fish that were all 3 pounds.
Right.
So it will be interesting to see what's going on.
So let's meet the anglers that are fishing today on this side. So we have Kevin Rue versus Jeremiah Shaver. We have Josh Credidio versus John DeMay. Then we have TJ Malio.
Malio.
The G, there's no G. It's there, but it's silent.
The G is silent.
And he's taking on Andy Lee. And then we have Nicholas Trim versus Steve Mortenson. So that's our Monday side of the bracket. As we move into the day, we'll talk about day 2. So those are our 8 anglers fishing today. If anybody's new to Head2Head, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Again, we're fishing LaCrosse Pool 7, 8, 9. This is a bass event. Then we're here again next week for a walleye event, crossing eyes on these same stretch of water. But today we're looking for all bass, small and largemouth.
Yep.
And they got to be above 2 pounds to register for a head-to-head fish.
Correct.
These fish get weighed in the boat and then released directly to the water. So it's a numbers game. The more fish over 2 pounds you can put in a boat, obviously it's going to increase your chances for moving on. So these guys are fishing today to try to advance and till Wednesday. Then we narrow the field from 16 from Monday, Tuesday down to 8 on Wednesday. Andy and I will be going over the rules as the day progresses. We're getting really close here to heading out to the water, but before we do, I'd like to give a shout out to our sponsors. So this week again, the Real Shot offers a H2H 10 code, which saves you 10% on any purchases. If you're again new, Andy and I do our best to identify tactics, tips, rods, reels, and even these anglers are so nice to reach out to us with a lot of their special gear, right? Rods, reels, what they prefer. So we'll be reading a lot of those kind of things. But Head2Head is sponsored by the Real Shot, is one of our sponsors, and they offer an H2H 10 code that saves you 10%. But I believe we're ready to go out to the water, and I'm kind of curious to see where guys are setting up.
I am too. This is going to be exciting.
All right. And we are going out to the water. So good morning, everybody. Hopefully everybody had a nice, safe weekend. Yeah, so I talked to a lot of these anglers last week, and they were all pre-fishing for the upcoming weekend, plus
we're live on you right now, so.
Fishing for today as well.
Right.
So we got TJ Malio on the top left, Andy Lee on the right. Then we go to the bottom left. We have Nicholas Trim and then Steve Mortenson. Steve's kind of found a dam location there. Was that a dam or a lock, would you call it, Andy?
That is a dam. That's like looks like he's near a spillway.
So now we're looking at a split screen of Nicholas Trim and Steve Mortenson. To me, I think it's interesting, Andy, right away in the body of water. Look at the different techniques. My guess is if I'm looking at Steve's screen, he's going for smallmouth. And then on the other side, Nicholas is throwing for, I'm guessing, largemouth. You know, not to say that smallies can't live in these same areas, but two different tactics right away.
Right. And it looked like he was using top water.
Catch, weigh, release format. All head-to-head events are that way. Back to, oh, here we go. Steve Mortenson
Steve is
hooked up. This is as live as it gets, everybody, for tournament fishing. Ooh, looks like a good one. Steve's dealing with a bass in the net now.
Looks like he was throwing like a 5-inch Senko green pumpkin wacky rig. It almost looked like he had a like a jig in the middle of that.
Close, man.
That helps, gives it a little bit of weight and works it on the bottom.
I don't think so. Oh, yep. Looks like 2. Wait, hold on. Look at me. I got 2. I think. It's like 2.7. 2.7.
Oh, there we go.
Wow.
Baby.
Great start for Steve.
All right, so Steve is our first angler to get on the board.
Showing, you know, it's showing weight on there, 11.3, 11.3. Is that right?
I'm not sure.
That's supposed to be refreshed to...
So Steve Mortenson's the first angler on the board here at Head2Head Fishing. This is bassing on the border. That fish was over 2 pounds, 2 pounds 7 ounces. So let's get into something here real quick before the action picks up. This side of the bracket is very heavy on bear fans this week.
Yes.
What is going on with that, Andy?
Oh,
Here we go. Steve Mortenson. I mean, are you bribing bear fans to get entered into head-to-head events?
No, it's just we love competition. We love to win.
Oh, so now we got...
That's just silly. I just said that as soon as I said it. I'm just like, okay.
Listen to Steve Mortenson deal with the bass. I was going to say, ooh, that fish looks good.
Yes, we do have a lot of bear fans showing up.
Ooh, that fish looks stout.
That's a nice fish.
Look at the head on that fish. So now is this our first 3-pounder?
I don't see it going 3. I think it's like 2.5.
Well, that last one was 2.7 and it looks skinnier down.
I know it's.
Bigger than the other one. 2.3. We got 2.3 looks like. All right.
So 2.3. Yeah, that last week we had such a hard time judging those fish with how thin they were, and that one there kind of looked like a fish from last week where it was pretty thin. These guys, with the Mississippi River, the cell coverage is a little spotty.
Yeah, they're gonna go way back in some of these backwaters, sloughs and such like that.
Right.
And biggest thing too is that, whatever that fish weighed, we'll find out as well. You can always pay attention to the weigh live that's flashing on the bottom of the screen as the updates. As we have Steve Mortenson and Nicholas Trim. Obviously we look at Steve's side. He's got 2 scoreable fish already as we're just about an hour into the day.
Right.
For 4 pounds 10 ounces already, where Nicholas is still looking for that first 2-pounder. He's caught quite a few fish already throwing that buzz bait. But they've just been short of that 2-pound minimum for the head-to-head event. So as you pay attention to the scoreboard on the bottom, we can kind of recap some of our matchups right now. We don't need to flip through them. So we'll just say we'll stay with so Nicholas and Steve, we just hit on that one. Lines out. Here we go. But we're going to go to the water, so we're going to get interviews from Kevin, John, Andy, and then Steve Mortenson, and then we'll come back and we'll kind of talk briefly about tomorrow's 8, and then we'll wrap up the show.
So today kind of went as planned. I had a game plan, and I stuck with it, and I think it kind of unfolded. It could have unfolded a little bit better, but I did manage to catch a few right away in the morning. I missed a couple, so I wasn't too happy with that. I think it was, I'm using a new hook, so that could be why. So I might go back to the other hook that I was using for moving forward for the next round. But other than that, today, couldn't ask for better conditions. I guess the water could always be a little bit better. But other than that, I'm just glad with the results that I had. I guess put a couple in the boat, and just looking forward to the next day. And just want to give a thanks to my camera guy here. Good job, man. Also my mom and dad and my daughter. Hopefully she's watching. Mercedes, I miss you. I know it's been like a week since I've been gone. And also some of my sponsors, Super K Jigs, who made this tournament possible for me, which was awesome. And also Hog Pour Lures. And that's pretty much it, man. So I'm just gonna get ready for the next day and see what happens. All right, guys, so as you saw in day one, I got to compete against Nicholas Trim. He's a local river rat. He knows the river really good. A lot of guys were picking him to actually do really good in this tournament. So I was kind of shocked that I actually beat this guy, who's a local guy. And so now I advanced to the next day. But I actually have off a day. So you fish day one, and then day two these other guys fish. So as I'm sitting there on day two, I'm staying at this campground called Goose Island, which is right on the Mississippi River. And I'm sitting there in my boat actually rigging up some baits. I'm watching it live on my phone. So I'm sitting there watching, seeing what these guys are doing, and just kind of, just observing, seeing how their day is unfolding. And as I'm sitting there getting my baits and checking my hooks and everything for the next day, all of a sudden I see this bass boat coming by, just cruising along, and he hits the sandbar and gets stuck. And I knew it was going to happen if a boat came through there, because we saw it happen already a couple days prior to this. We saw a boat get stuck there, and it's not a good sandbar, I'll tell you that, because the water's down really good low. So this sandbar, it's luckily there's no rocks or anything like that. So anyway, so as I'm sitting there and I see this happen, all of a sudden on my phone, about 60 seconds later, the camera guy who was in the boat got it all on video of him actually getting beached up on this sandbar. And I didn't know he was competing in the head-to-head tournament. So rules say that we're not allowed to be on the water on day two. I can't be out there. So as I'm watching and I'm messaging him on the live message board, asking him if I can go out there and assist him and give him a hand, because this little boat came up, as you see in the video, and he just didn't have enough horsepower to get this big heavy bass boat off of this sandbar, because he's sitting in just inches of water, and you got thousands of pounds of this bass boat stuck on this big flat sandbar. So they gave me permission, and I went out to assist him, and I'll play this part for you. It's a little lengthy, but it's kind of sad that it happened, Ron. But it's just reality. It happens, especially on the Mississippi River when you got low water like this. So I just wanted to play this part for you, because I just wanted you to see kind of how it unfolded, and it's kind of exciting, but yet disappointing to Ron. But I just wanted to play this part for you guys, so kind of just enjoy this part on my day off on day two.
Good morning, everybody. Having a great day. I'm stoked. Andy's stoked. Andy's fired up. Welcome to Head2Head Fishing. Bassing on the Border. This is LaCrosse Battle Day 2, Andy.
Day 2.
Pools 7, 8, and 9.
More fun in a tournament, style of event. So,
Whoa! Oh no, Ron just hit sandbar.
Oh my God! We need a replay of that. That was awesome.
Did he just come to a stop?
He just came to a stop. He buried it on a sandbar, I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's not awesome from the standpoint that now we have an angler
Oh no.
on a sandbar.
Well, I can try to go backwards. I don't think I'm going to go backwards. Nice soft sand.
Oh no.
Oh,
Maybe. If I was a cameraman, I'd be laughing right now, but you're a nice guy.
It's not funny because you'll make me get in.
Well, I don't know how else to not.
All right, you need my hand help.
Well, I don't know if I can get out of this one or not. I gotta see if it's deep this way or deep that way. I know I can go backwards.
Oh, it's shallower that way.
I want to say it's getting deeper here, but I don't think so.
That's a live view of what it looks like to get beached on a sandbar
Right.
in the Mississippi River.
Right. And
It is deeper over there.
wow.
Yeah, see, that's what there's some people in the chat saying they watch a lot of boats get stuck there all week. The graphs show 7 to 8 feet.
Yeah.
But it's not in that spot. And actually, Steve Mortenson, who fished yesterday, said
Right.
he's 200 yards away from that. He's staying in that campground you saw on the shoreline there.
Right.
He watched him do that.
He goes, I think I just saw Ron beach his boat.
Yeah, there's a couple people that have sites right there.
So I know Jeremiah's in the chat. How do you? What is the next step for Ron at this point? I mean, you know, the river guys. What is the next step? Do you start digging? Do you start pushing? Do you start calling buddies? I mean, what do you do?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because the whole thing is there's time ticking away right now.
Yeah, I mean, technically that's a 2-minute penalty for getting out of the boat, but he might potentially have a 2-hour penalty here if he can't get freed up.
Yeah.
Well, with Steve being right there, I don't know if there's anything in the rules that says Steve couldn't motor over there and help pull him off.
Right.
0.
The big question is, you know, if these guys have enough rope in their boats to be able to reach wherever,
So awkward.
you know, a regular boat, an airboat would be able to get right up by Ron.
Yeah, so back to the Ron situation. Great job, Luke, for putting his first scoreable fish in the boat. Steve Mortenson has been messaging the page saying that I am literally at the campground. Can I go help? Like, I don't like just sitting watching this from the campground.
Right.
And so we checked with Kyle, and Kyle said, yes, that would be huge of him. You know, rules aside, technically he can't be on the body of water the day of an event. Good hook set, Daryl. But in this situation, he's allowed to go help. So we'll see if Steve can motor over there with his bigger motor and lend a hand.
Right. Yeah, Ron is just a little too hung up for that smaller flat bottom to help him out.
And that's what Steve said. He's like, my bigger motor, I might be able to pull him off. That's awesome.
There's a shot of Steve Mortenson now. He's got his boat in the water. And he's going to be going over by where Ron is to try and give them a hand.
I don't know how you're gonna get right here. Go that way. That's deeper right here.
Wow.
Some of I just pulled her out.
So we're watching right now the flat bottom boat is kind of getting out of the way, and he's showing Steve where he's able to come in to get close to Ron. And
Got a little more punch with his, maybe.
He's got longer rope and pull from out there.
So again, Ron Twardowski beached himself probably just about an hour ago.
Little commentary if you're
Right.
listening. We got another boat to help pull.
yeah, he has been there a little while. And so the small boat's going out by Steve Mortenson, who was at the campsite, who actually watched this unfold live. I mean, he watched it with his own eyes.
Yep.
Ron come in and saw him get hung up. And so he
Maybe it's not deep there.
and now we're just watching the John, or the flat bottom boat,
That's not good.
is in some pretty shallow water. So now we're even wondering if he's going to be able to, if
Jeez.
Steve's going to be able to get his boat there. It looks like they're going to need a lot of line.
Now he's hung up too.
I think you can get it over here. He could make it back that way.
So Steve might have to rescue the rescue boat.
Right.
Yeah. Shoot. That's what we taping.
I mean, that boat's light enough. You can
Yeah,
just-
he's moving that around.
So maybe my boat might have a little more horsepower to pull him. But I don't think it's too deep over there. It's too shallow, right? No, up there, you don't float once you get up there. Can I come around from the other way? Whoa. No. Shit. It dropped right there.
Yeah, you can see it from here.
Holy man.
I think.
What's my first swim there? I still got the. I should take this off. Should have done it before.
Yeah, they're just trying to figure out how in the heck to get this boat's not going to get off by, I don't think, pushing unless you get quite a few guys
people
in there.
on, right?
You know, you might need to get 6-8 guys in there to try and push it to that deeper water, but they're just trying to figure out how in the heck to get a boat there.
Well, the other thing too is which he almost has to go backwards because that John boat just showed that it.
Right, you're not coming through that way. And so you're exactly right. For Ron to get out, he's going to have to go back the way he came, which is also problematic because they don't know what's deep
Right.
enough.
How far onto that point is he, or that sandbar, I should say. Yeah, obviously we're not showing this to poke fun at Ron or anything, and
No.
it's just unfortunately it's such a bummer for Ron.
It is a bummer, but at the same time, if you've never been in this situation, this is how you learn what to do to get out of it.
Yeah, this is live tournament fishing right here. It's,
Yeah, this is part of the drama. This is part of the story.
I mean, that was nice of Steve to make the attempt to try to get in there. I don't know if he can get in from the other way.
I'm gonna go get him, so just watch out once. I'm gonna try to put this thing on my channel over there too. That way you can go from that way. Stand that right side. Well, it's shallow. Once you get up by that bush right there, it's ugly too.
Okay, so
He's going to try to pile out of there. He had to get on plane.
yeah, I don't think Ron could stay on plane because I think it's so shallow that motor was just digging in.
Yep.
And, you know, at a certain point, you know, it's one thing to run through a little bit of sand. It's another thing to put your motor through a whole lot of sand. And
Because how you have to run the risk of sucking that sand up?
I guarantee you there's a pile of sand in his motor right now. Absolutely, because that, as the engine cooling system works, it is going to be sucking all of that, you know, water and sand up in there. And one of the things that he'll have to watch for is just to make sure that his motor is still spitting water. He'll have to keep an eye on his temperature gauge to make sure that everything is not plugged tight. So even when he gets out of here, he's going to have to keep an eye on that water pressure gauge.
Right.
Not temperature, but water pressure gauge, and make sure that he's still pumping water through that engine.
Back over to Trey. So I think what he's trying to do there is they're going back. They're going to pick up Steve, not in his boat. Maybe bring Steve out there. Then, you know, maybe with between Larry, Steve, and this other gentleman, they might be able to rock the boat enough to try to get it. But I don't know which way he's going to go to get out of that spot.
Yeah, I don't know if he gets to where, if he tries to duplicate what that little boat just did. You get it floating, try and get, you know, Ron's boat up on pad and just plow through that little bit of sand there at the end.
Oh, Trey just missed one.
That was $100
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to listen. Cade's talking.
So what just happened is on Ron, they have a whole bunch of line out, and he tried to run and snap it.
And just broke the rope.
Yeah. You know, when you look at the weight of Ron's boat, I mean, you're talking, 3,000 plus pounds,
right,
sitting there. And granted, not all of that weight is down. I mean, there still is some buoyancy with it, right? But they're just trying to snap it and break it loose or get it going somehow.
Check all that stuff out. We're back over to Ron now. We got 3 people on that island, 4 including Larry.
There's Steve right there, Steve Mortenson. So yeah, he jumped in the flat boat.
I had a 50-foot, half-inch rope in the boat. Wow. I took it out with my camera guy. All right.
Okay, about 30 seconds or going for another.
So here they're going to look to try that again. So they got a couple guys. And the one thing keep in mind is Ron 5 months ago just had a 5 bypass, heart surgery.
Yeah.
So
Ron,
we certainly do not want to see him try and do anything.
Before it was like this far. Right on that.
I'm actually standing deeper.
Yep.
So they must have moved it a little bit. They're talking about their... Oh, really? 5 feet, Zach said?
Yeah, you can see it. Oh! So it is working. It's going slow.
I don't have any scraps.
Got my 5 more feet and the rope broke again.
We're getting there.
Penalty before you can go.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I can get out of here first, no, or no?
You can do whatever you want, but before you cast.
Yeah, before you make your next cast.
Okay. Let me get in the main channel. I'll serve my channeling. Okay, we off?
Okay, so hopefully he's going to be able to get up and to get through.
No, I'm not leaving yet. I just want to run into his beautiful boat here.
Good luck, man. Thanks.
Good luck.
Hey, thanks for your help.
But I know it's... How are you still standing, man?
I don't know.
That edge must just drop right that way. Think I can go this way, or?
We're off.
I don't know,
Got
man.
off the bar.
I couldn't get through here, though. You can see it's all shallow right there.
I don't know how you
Think
can...
So you're listening right now to Ron Twardowski. Beached his boat earlier.
Yeah, run it.
They got him unstuck. Now he's just trying to figure out how to get out the rest of the way. If you were watching, you actually saw that the John boat that came was getting hung up just before it reached the river mouth.
I don't think I can go that way. No, don't go that way. Okay, well, just put the trolling motor down, see if I can get out of here.
Yeah, I'm gonna get up front. Let me get up front.
Okay, so this is going to be, hopefully he's going to get out of there.
Yeah, about 20% of it is just pieces, but it'll work.
What do I owe you, about 18 feet of rope?
Prayers that my wife comes through hard.
Yeah, we're in the boat with Ron now, and they're just getting set, getting ready to make a run out.
Shallow here.
Yeah, you seen he had trouble getting in and out here, so.
There's a bite. I'm changing colors.
So Ron's got 48 minutes once he gets out there. He's got to take a 2-minute penalty.
Yep.
So roughly about 45 minutes to try to get himself on a fish. And he's only 3 pounds 9 ounces down, Cade.
Right.
I mean, think about that though. The bite is extremely tough, right?
Right.
That was an hour plus window for Cade to stack the odds in his favor. He would have liked to probably put at least 6, 7, 8 more pounds worth of fish in a boat in that time.
Absolutely.
I mean, everybody would, but
those are those moments that, unfortunately for Ron, there's nothing he can do. But for Cade, you try and take advantage the best you can.
Yep.
And it's not like Cade's not trying. You know,
Right.
it's
Oh,
just
100%.
You know, he's just it's just the way that the fishing is right now.
Oh no! Look at his trolling motor hopping.
Almost. Let me put the big engine on so you can think.
Try it.
Okay, so he got as far as he could with the trolling motor, Ron did. Now he's going to fire up the big motor and see what he can do.
Is he even moving? Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, you see, yeah, you're watching it just cavitate through that stuff.
That makes some good TV. I was moving. I think I got the nose here, so maybe I can get on.
So now they're going to try and put as much weight as they can in the front of the boat, put the trolling motor down.
See, that's that spot where that little John bolt got stuck too, and if he
Right.
got stuck in there,
Right.
Look at Larry worried about doing a camera work first. Yeah, see, look at the John boat sitting there. Zach just brought up a good point. I mean, they're a little closer now. The rope should reach.
Look at, you see the camera guy trying to rock back and forth. That boat's not moving.
No.
You know, so now they're dealing with another sandbar.
Yeah, I could have kept her going.
So now they're getting the flat boat back in a position, and they're going to try pulling again.
Oh, Cade just missed one on the opposite side. Live stream. How's Ron getting off that spot? Because we've had at least one person that was watching this go help him. Two now with Steve going to help him.
It would take a combination of, if Ron knows,
You'd make
local
phone
people.
calls.
But it would be a chain of phone calls of trying to help him out, or people just fishing in the area and flagging somebody down.
Yep.
Here, power pole. No power poles. Oh, who the heck hit that? Oh, he hit that. Like, I didn't hit him. Other side.
Oh, so Larry just bumped a power pole with his leg.
Oh, still stuck? Man.
So now they're back working. They have the camera guy up front to try and put as much weight as they can up on the bow to lift the back up.
I'd like to. Did they get it on footage, like of it happening, or? But I mean, like, the actual
It looks
moment
like
when it
he's
happened.
moving.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to go back and look at that. Oh gosh, yeah, that's like the lead story probably with this terrible fishing.
Yeah, Larry should be careful though with that rope. If that rope breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah, the chat was mentioning that John DeMays spent the night on one of these sandbars because he got beached.
Did he really?
Yeah, that's what they're saying. It looks like last Friday night. Spent the night. Now it appears that he's off.
There you go, brother.
Hey, unhook that. See if you can. Steve can swim.
Yeah, I can swim.
Yo, I'm scared of crab swimming.
There you go. Let it go.
I go swimming sometimes on the sandbars, and you get out a little bit from shore.
Uh-huh.
You feel that current just pull you under.
Wow. great job.
I told him
What a fun day, huh?
He owes me ice cream. I made that comment this morning. If we got stuck, so that cost you ice cream.
You did too.
All right, man, go get him.
He's the one that told me to go to sleep.
Ron is unstuck in his battle against Cade. He's actually serving his 2-minute penalty. You can see it right here. So he'll have right around 35 minutes to fish. How far of a move do you make from this spot? I don't know the structure. All right, that's time.
That's lines out.
What a way to make it interesting, though.
Wow. Wow. I mean, today
Lines out.
I feel emotionally spent after today. I mean, what Ron went through, oh my God. Getting stuck, spending that kind of time on a sandbar, you know, then getting off, then getting stuck again, right? Getting off, had a competitor, Steve, from yesterday come out and help. Wow. I mean, just watching that was a lot.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Head2Head Fishing. Day 3, Andy. Bassing on the border. 8. Here's our 8 that look like today that you're going to see. So then we continue on. We have Andy Lee. One-armed Andy, man. That dude was bombing some casts with that arm. Like you said, hate to catch a right hand from Andy Lee. He's going up against Steve Mortenson. Steve, you know, produced with the wacky Cinco.
Right.
Put a lot of fish in the boat. Great day for him. Plus, he went out to the extra effort to help yesterday. Yeah. Ron Twardowski landed on that sandbar. Steve was the first guy. I'm watching it. Can I go help? I want to go help.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
Steve's a phenomenal guy, great angler. That's going to be another awesome matchup. Wow, Steve Mortenson's starting a day in a familiar spot.
Yeah, that's the French Island Spillway. So he is pretty much, and I would expect him. You know, he had great success right away off of the day on his day 1. The one thing that this area provides is a real consistent environment, right? You have that French Island Spillway. It's going to be fairly consistent from one day to the next.
The other thing, too, is we got Andy Lee. He also looks like he's fishing a very familiar spot from where he fished on day 1.
Right.
Where I think a swim jig was a huge component in his winning.
Yeah. Yeah, Steve, again, you look at the deck of his boat, he is pretty dialed into what he wants to do. You know, he looks like he's only got, 4 or 5 rods laid out. And he's got that wacky rig Cinco going.
Now we're back over with Steve. He ain't messing around, he said.
No, I tell you what. I'm anxious to find out if he is on pool.
It's Steve Mortenson with a hook set.
I'm anxious to find out if Cade's on pool 9 and he already called it. Wow, that we could be in for a day.
Steve feels like he's got a good one.
Yeah, one might make it. I'm gonna take a chance. There we go. I don't know. It's gonna be close.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think that one is going to be close.
Feels pretty light. Zero.
So Steve is putting that fish to the scale. Steve's audio is gone now.
Yep.
All right.
What's he telling you?
Yep. It must be close.
0.
You get clear scale.
Yep, that's what I just did.
Yep. And I'll blink at you a couple
Yep.
times.
There you go. 0 again.
Yep.
Yeah, seems when we talk.
It was almost there. It's like 115. Nope, not gonna do it.
115.
I didn't think so. Yep. Not gonna do it.
Yeah, that must have been close.
I'm out.
Well, he's definitely around the right kind of fish.
Yeah, and that's right away. That's 3 anglers, 3 fish, and we're 7 minutes into the day.
Minutes into it. I mean, this could be a completely different day right now.
So far, I think making
Which,
that
man,
change
I
in
hope
that
so
boat made a difference.
for the anglers,
I can already
because,
tell.
you know, there's been a lot of fish caught. It's just not a lot of scoreable fish caught.
I might have to leave this spot and just come back to it in a little bit. Felt like
Man.
a good one, too.
Steve Mortenson's talking about some
What
bites.
there is right here, there's like a little ledge where you see the water coming over, and it just comes down a little bit and then drops right off, and that's where those fish are sitting. So the key is to make it look natural, kind of like you're fishing a trout stream, just letting your worm kind of just go with the current. The fish are just sitting on that edge, just waiting for something to drop in front of them.
Steve kind of
We got a little more
explaining.
current coming through here than last time on Monday, so I'm thinking that's gonna put in a few more fish. And I haven't even fished 80% of this yet.
That's great insight from
Yeah.
Steve.
Just explaining what he's fishing.
That's what he's throwing.
We got a little more current coming through here than last time on Monday, so
Pre-
I'm thinking that's gonna
Pretty sure it's I'm
put in a few more
a
fish.
little stick.
I haven't
I don't
even
know if
fished
it's the
80%
exact
of
color.
this yet.
Looked like it
Look
was.
like stick this one right here.
Yeah, yep.
Look like
what happens.
I think this is
Bone.
not for sure, but I believe the bait I'm about to share to the chat right now from the realshot.com is the lure that Kevin Herlitzky's throwing here. Steve's Mortenson's
It's not fighting.
hooked up.
Yeah, that one might, it's gonna be close too, man. Dang it. Nope, it's not gonna make it. Dang it.
Yeah, that fish Steve has looks like
Not even
it.
close.
I mean, that's going to be close as well.
I'm gonna weigh it just to be safe.
Go ahead and click this link.
It's
That
not
I
good enough.
believe this is what Kevin is throwing. Obviously, we know that Steve here is throwing
I can probably see him from there, I think.
What's that?
showing us a scale here.
Yep.
Wacky Cinco.
Yeah, it looks like a 5-inch. Almost looks like a Yamamoto.
Nope, not even. 1.8. Come on, man.
There's tons of Cinco baits out there now.
Yeah, you know, the thing about where Steve is I think that's a very well-known community hole, but it's that way for a reason. It holds fish consistently. And so that gives a person confidence.
Minnows. There's a bunch
Wow,
of
look at
minnows.
that shutdown. It gives a person confidence to stay in those areas a little longer because you know you're around fish.
Hopefully a big hungry bat.
So back to Andy Lee and Steve. Steve is still by that spillway up in the French Island, or I believe they call it the French Island Spillway.
Come on. Gotta be more fish.
And Steve, he's caught a couple of fish now that have been close because he's reweighed them a couple of times to check them, and just not quite enough. Sounds like another buzzbait throwing.
I just shared the link to the buzz baits a second ago, so you can click on that and take advantage of that H2H 10 code.
It was good for a second there.
Here's Steve now. Oh, good hooks at Steve Mortenson. Rock bass?
No, this is a smallie.
Small smallmouth.
Yep.
Oh, it just threw his worm too. Did you see it?
Yeah, that's insult to injury right there.
I was looking down. I was going to look for that smackdown in case anybody's curious of what line Trey is throwing. It's the high vis.
I really need to watch out that I don't flip that switch. And, you know, so.
Steve appears to be hooked up again.
Stay on. How big are you?
It's a good question. I like this question here. Any TRS apparel? Let me see if I can find it on the website here.
Well, Steve's getting this fish into the net. Looks better than the last one.
I don't know, man.
I think that's going to be close. They're thin. They're so thin.
Dang it. So close. Close. So close.
He's caught quite a few that have been right on that borderline.
I want to take a chance.
So he's grabbing a scale. He's going to throw it on and
All right, gotcha.
see what it is. I'm going to say it goes. I say that fish is 2.
Then I get a better shot.
Gotcha. 0. Yep.
Yep. Getting ready, throwing it on the scale. Definitely a lively fish.
Come on.
So there, I just shared the link to those, some TRS apparel.
Try one more time, because for a second it said 2 and then it didn't. Try one more time.
Okay, he's re-zeroing it, so it must be close again.
Right. Come on, fish, make it.
He just re-zeroed it, and he's putting it back on the scale.
114. Oh, dang it. So
Yeah,
close.
looks like it's just a little short.
Look at that. Come on, a little bit bigger. Go tell your brother to bite. Oh.
The right one's in there.
Yep.
Yep, so that fish just a little short. They're back mainstream with Steve. Steve's put, oh, he's hooked up again. He's put quite a few fish in, but none of them have been over 2.
Speaking of duh, are you talking about the Bears again?
Bears.
Duh. Duh, I play for the Bears. Okay. So listen to
What about those little ones? I'm not going to bring them over to the side of the boat until they hit the carpet.
Not taking that chance.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, I think I heard basketball is officially supposed to start today.
Really?
Yep.
You a basketball fan?
I am. I like the NBA. I don't care what anybody says. Yep. They're going to be like 3 rows back, and all the chairs are going to be at least 6 feet apart.
Wow.
And then the commentators are also going to be like in a penalty box for ice hockey. This is just what I heard on the radio this morning.
Really?
Little one.
How are they going to maintain 6 feet on the court?
And they won't. They won't. I mean, I get what you're saying, right? Yeah.
Let's not go there.
Yeah. Well,
Make it either.
yeah, we don't need to get into this discussion. Yeah. It's a rabbit hole.
Well, Aaron's dropping all kinds of emotions on this one.
Funny thing right now is if my mom's watching, like I know she is, I can just hear her saying,
yeah?
"Come on, Steve, come on, you just need one, come on." That's what she was doing the other day. She told me, she was like cheering me on, like she can hear me or something, you know?
That's another great part about head-to-head. You take your whole family fishing with you. They can experience what you
know
do.
I'm not feeling a swim jig. I think a chatterbait will work better. With all this current and everything. There we go. There, let's try that.
Yeah.
White chatterbait now.
I tell you, that white is the color for the river. You know, we have seen a lot of white swim baits, white swim jigs, white chatterbaits, a lot of white.
hopefully.
Top water.
Yeah, white top water, that bone color that we saw on that top water walking bait.
See down.
So we're 3 hours and 21 minutes remaining. So we're virtually an hour and 20 minutes away from some Dink Fest matches if we get that far, which I don't know if we will.
Right.
So right now there's the battle between Kevin Rue and John DeMay. That's at zeros. Andy Lee and Steve Mortenson, who's on the screen right now, is at zeros.
I'm out.
There's Steve over the side of the boat.
Too small. That's funny. Yeah, I think because of the current right there. Said I was stuck up on a rock trying to pop it off, and as soon as it came off, the fish was all over it.
Yeah. You know, between pool 8 and 9, that's as far
That's
as
good, because I didn't want to get too close to that
And
water over there.
I never really got up to 7 very much. You just stick around home. More convenient.
Not the right size. A little
Were
bit
you from
bigger.
Madison again? Oshkosh? Oshkosh? Yeah, no.
Come on.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
Listening to Andy Lee and Steve Mortenson.
Okay.
Was in bad cell coverage. He caught a 3-pound.
I think it was 2 ounce, right, Aaron? Yeah.
Yeah, a 3-pound, 2-ounce largemouth.
Smallmouth.
Smallmouth. I'm sorry,
Smallmouth.
smallmouth. So
Feels decent.
I agree with you. He is going to be the sneaky sport
He's
motive
at
angler of the day.
Yep. Steve's hooked up again.
Damn.
Don't count this guy out though.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
That's the one I need. That's the one. Come on. Come on. Come on, get in there. Yes.
Wow. What a. Oh, wow.
That's the one I needed right there. That's got to be 2 pounds. Oh, man. Switch it up to the swim jig or swim bait.
Look at that.
Come
A
on,
white
please be
swim
2
bait.
pounds.
Oh, he's definitely.
Nice, Smalley.
Whew. Control yourself, Steve. Come on. There we go. 0?
0.
All right. Oop, get out, sure. 2.7. Wait, no, we got 2.4. No, what do we got?
Hold on.
2.5. 2.5.
There we go.
Yes.
Wow.
Love it. Oh my God. All right. Oh my God. All right. Enter the weight. Don't forget.
Yeah.
2.5. Oh man.
That is awesome.
Austin.
Oh, the rod out of my hand. That's another nice one.
Steve Mortenson.
He might
Stay
have
on,
figured
stay
something
on.
out if he's still throwing that swim bait.
Walleye, really? What?
Save that for next
If
week.
anybody wants a fish fry tonight, I got the walleye spot.
Ooh, that's a nice fish.
Oh, yeah, that is a nice fish.
Anybody looking for some walleyes? Right there. God, dang it. Felt good. Felt good. Man.
Oh, check this run out by Steve. So he's running out from that French Island spillway. This ought to be a cool run out.
And he's moving a lot earlier today than he did on his first day of fishing. That first day, I think he spent almost the entire time up in that French Spillway area.
He did make a move, I think, around halfway through, because then he went into that Black River area. Actually ended up back by Clinton Street.
So what you're trying to tell me is I'm wrong.
In not so many words. Yes. Andy Lee making another move. He's been running quite a bit today.
Mm-hmm.
We got Steve. He's fishing around some floating docks right now. I wonder if he went back into that Black River area.
I was going to say, this looks kind of familiar from where he was. He fished, what, day one?
Yep, day one.
Oh, he's hooked up.
Dang, I don't think it's big enough. Nope. It's still like a little guy. Open your mouth. There you go. Come on. Oh, jeez.
It's hooked well.
I had a good hook set on that one. It's my pliers. There we go. Not gonna make her. Not even close. That used to be my specialty, man. That's how it got me at bass fishing, was skipping a weightless Senko. I did that for 15 years. I got really good at it. Getting up underneath those little tight spots. Uh-oh. Stumps. Oh, another big stump right there. Come on. Come on.
Wow, look at all of the grass that Andy Lee is in now.
We talked about some clear bodies of water. I mean, the water from yesterday and Monday does appear to be clear in a couple of different areas.
Right. And you can definitely see how the current is in there. You know, the current is just bending all of that weeds and vegetation right over.
So those weeds off to the left, they're kind of folded over like you just said. There could be fish underneath those as well.
Right. But I kind of like what's right in front of them.
That rock.
There's like a rock point that's right in front of them.
It does look good.
One more.
We must really say, look at the scenery a lot. People are playing drinking games with it.
Well, look at the scenery that Steve is in. He's back in that area he started with this morning. People might not make it to the end of the matchup with us.
Oh, right away.
Steve just swung and missed on one.
Dang it.
I think it took his whole setup.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Mortenson's back to that, what'd you call it, the French Spillway?
French Island Spillway.
So on your salads, do you put Thousand Island or French Island?
French.
Is it really? Is French the red one?
Yeah.
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 Like orangish.
Yep. Yeah.
You a big salad guy?
Yeah, I like salads. Just like everybody else, I like them pile full of like other good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Hide as much salad as I can, or
So-
lettuce. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Caesar salad. So do you What I do too often is, you know, like when you can go up to the salad bar before your meal, I'll come back with this huge salad that is a meal, and then kind of eat too much salad before the meal. Do you have the same problem?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. Trying to get back to where he wants to be. Yeah, Steve is in the creamy French Island spillway. Now, Steve, he had some success with that white swim bait before. I wonder. Well, it looks like he's back to the weightless or the wacky rig Senko.
Yep.
Yeah, Steve's total weight, 2 pounds, 5 ounces. He actually caught quite a few fish that were just shy of 2 pounds in that area earlier today. Yeah, Steve's fish this morning, you know, you look at his weigh live, it doesn't really reflect. He's caught quite a few fish. And, you know, he's reweighed a lot of them. They were really close right there, so... He's definitely around 2 pound fish. It's just a matter of figuring out how to get him to go.
Back over to Steve Scenery Mortenson. I thought he was hooked up.
That feels good. Come on. It felt good. Oh, now it's biting. Come on, let's stay on. Oh, that's a pig.
It's like dancing around up there.
No,
oh no.
Come on, get him, get him, get him, get him. There we go. Oh, come on, make it. It's going to be close. Dang, it felt so much bigger.
He's throwing that white swim jig again.
I don't know about that.
It's going to be close.
Yeah.
114.
Come on, turn on. There we go. Right. 0?
Yes.
All right. Oh, come on. Nope. 112. Why'd you have to do that to me? God, it felt so good. But I did something different on that cast, so I'm going to try it again. See if that makes a difference. I let it sink all the way down and I just let it sit there for a minute.
Does it seem like the flow has picked up where Steve has been fishing? It looks like there's more current in there right now. And he mentioned that earlier this morning too, that it seemed that there's a little more current coming through there.
Alright, so right here now, you'll see I'm on day 3, and I'm competing against a guy named Andy Lee, he's a really good stick, man. He knows this water really good too. And he actually catches a fish right here, and you'll see what happens.
Back over the gunslinger.
Oh!
Big hook set from Andy Lee.
This could be huge for him because, you know, he's only down One fish.
2 pounds, 5 ounces. Oh, this is a good one.
Oh, wow. Look at this.
Oh, boy.
This just made things interesting.
Strap on that seatbelt. This is going to be a bumpy ride.
Oh, this is going to be close.
No way. 2-5.
2-5.
Oh, no.
2-5.
You gotta enter him in quick.
Thank you.
I'll give you a penalty.
Thank you.
Did he just tie it up?
Did we just become best friends? Yeah. That's tied up now between Andy and Steve.
There's more. There's more. There's more.
Oh, here we go. Look at that on the screen right now. 1 fish apiece between Andy Lee and Steve Mortenson. Both fish were 2 pounds, 5 ounces. I think this is another first.
Oh!
Oh, he just missed one. I think this is another first here at Head to Head.
All right, let's just go there. Hypothetical. If it ends this way, what's the first tiebreaker?
Yeah, I got to read.
Is it number of non-scorable?
Well, that's a good segue to share the rules.
Wow, now we're back with this tied up matchup. Andy Lee, Steve Mortenson, 1 fish apiece for 2 pounds, 5 ounces each. This is awesome.
Yeah, so it would go to the most, it says most scoreable fish recorded.
Okay, so if, like if an angler caught 4 fish and one caught 5 and they were tied at 10 pounds, right? Then the angler who caught 5 scoreable fish would win. But in this case, since they're at 1 apiece, it would have to go to the next
Non-scoreable, total non-scoreable fish.
Which I think at this point would be Steve, because he caught quite a few non-scoreable.
Yes.
Let's hope it doesn't go to that. How much time did I got you? You know how much time it is? Buck? Alright. Is that one of our guys?
I don't think Steve is been updated yet.
Is it 1 o'clock yet? It's going too slow.
I just got an update. He caught 1 too. You guys are tied at 2 pounds, 5 ounces.
Man, what? Oh, come on, fish. Oh my goodness. Wow. The fight is on now. Oh my goodness. Come on, baby. Come on. Oh.
With how much time left? Half an hour? 12:30?
Do you see this tiebreaker right here?
Jeez. Oh my goodness.
I'd be up for saying who has the nicer scenery. Absolutely.
Here we go.
Oh!
Oh, it's a nice one too.
Steve is hooked
Stay
up.
on. Stay on. Stay on. Stay on. Oh, I don't know if it's as nice as I thought. Nope. God dang it. Oh, oh man. Come on. Oh my goodness. Not even. God, it felt so good. Nope. God.
I thought for a moment Steve was going to alleviate our dilemma.
Yeah, man, this is 30 minutes remaining.
You know, John, John is such a class act. Watching him as he won at that Southeast Smackdown, that was just so cool. Oh, right there. There's a great shot of Steve.
There's Steve.
So Steve is in pool 8.
Look at that camera guy working hard right now.
Yeah, and Daryl is in 7. But yeah, John is he's such a class act, such a great guy. You want to see him do well.
Yep.
You know, in the same way yesterday, Ron Twardowski, you know, it kind of it sucked watching. I mean, it was so educational and captivating, but at the same time, you don't want to see people go through that. There's a great shot of Steve.
So here's the real deal. I mean, this is why you wait 5 hours.
Yeah.
You can't look away.
No, I am.
You cannot look away because things change so fast. So this is that tied up match.
All right.
So this is going to be separated here if it stays like this with 2 minutes remaining. So if we look into...
Oh, I want that clock to go faster and catch one right now. Come on. Oh. Oh, I hope he doesn't catch one in the last few minutes. Come on, man.
Then you remember how the interview works, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to... I think we're coming back to studio, going to the water for some interviews for the winning anglers. Right now, there's a couple of matchups like this one right here that are still undecided yet.
Right.
I mean, if this one ends the way it is right now with 1:35 remaining, it's the most non-scorables caught today, which is going to be close because Andy's caught quite a few fish, a lot of pike, but it's only non-scorable in the bass world, right? So I think Steve might edge him out because he has the most non-scorable bass caught today.
Correct.
And then that matchup between Cade and Daryl, we're a minute away from that one being wrapped up. And you're going to want to stay tuned because Cade is probably going to have an interview of all interviews.
Wow. I mean, this is a nail biter.
Camera 5 interview.
Nerves are just like shaking, man. That was not pretty. A win's a win. I don't care how you get it, man. You do what you got to do, you know? And grind it out and grind it out. That's what it took. So, wow, so tough. So, should we do it right here?
You bet.
All right. So today, not a pretty day, man. Just grinding it out all day right here. I mean, I was gonna stick here all day. I made one move, caught nothing, and came back here by the spillway. It was tough, man. It was a tough bite. I mean, I switched it up. I was throwing that wacky rig again, and I switched it up. The only thing I caught my legal fish on, or the big one, was that white swim jig or swim bait, and that was it. That was tough, man. And then the last half hour, he catches one and ties me. Oh my gosh, that really put the pressure on. I was like, what am I gonna do? So yeah, that was crazy, man. But I don't know. I just gotta once again thank all my sponsors, everybody: Super K Jigs, Monster Bass, Seagar, Elite Angler. I know there's a whole bunch. Cyber Fishing. Who else I got? Rapid Baits, Aquaview, Optima Batteries. Just got to thank all those guys. Thanks my family for watching. And now I'm looking forward to see what's going to happen the next round. A little scared, a little nervous. I might change it up though. But I mean, this has been working. I don't know if I'm going to stick with it or try something different. But let's see what happens, I guess. So guess that's it. On to the next day.
Who needs fish catches to have entertainment, right?
Wow. I was barely hanging on. We were both barely hanging on. Wow. I am spent. I am like Cade yesterday.
At that point, we'll just say we're here tomorrow at 7:45. But no, it was interesting to say the least, right?
Yep. Again, every day has been different from the previous day, and we're seeing guys make adjustments, and it's just been crazy. And I cannot wait to see, going into tomorrow, you heard Steve talking about, well, not sure if he wants to leave that area. Well, with what we saw today with weight, the first day, I think he caught 2 legal fish there, 2 scoreable fish. Today, 1 scoreable fish. I'm not sure that he's going to be able to advance another round if he's not able to put some more fish in the boat, So, I mean, that's something to keep in mind. Not saying that area couldn't turn on or it couldn't change, maybe start there and make a quick adjustment.
Yep.
But, no, it's going to be interesting.
The thing about it, if Steve goes back to this spot tomorrow, which I would at least check it, the first thing I would throw would be that swim bait.
Right, the white swim bait.
The swim bait. And I would maybe toss around a couple of different lures of that color.
Yep.
A swim jig, maybe even a spinner bait, something.
Fluke.
A fluke would be a great idea in that area. Obviously, he knows there's a concentration of fish there.
Right.
Now, maybe after all the pressure has subsided, maybe they've seen the wacky a couple too many times, and he hit it the nail on the head there. He said, "I caught my fish on the swim bait."
Right.
So you would think, again, we're armchair angling back here.
Easy to do.
Why you wouldn't stay with that, but how many white profile baits did we see from John DeMay all the way through the whole entire day?
So, day number 4 now, and I keep going back to this certain area called the Spillway. And so guess what happens? On day 4, the viewers, somebody came up with this nickname for me and it stuck. So now they are calling me Spillway Steve. So it's kind of funny, but it's it fit me, because I'm fishing a spillway every day. So just kind of watch the video, and we'll see what happened on day 4.
What's up, man? Head-to-head fishing, bassing on the border, day 4, fantastic 4. Andy, how are you this morning?
Man, I am ready. I am ready.
He's ready.
After yesterday, the drama of yesterday, to me, yesterday was one of the more dramatic endings that we had. We had 2 matchups that went right down to the wire.
Yep.
And then throughout the day, there was plenty of drama.
Kevin Rue versus Steve Mortenson.
Yes.
Now, I mean, we talk about Kevin putting that big 4-pounder after it was lodged underneath some debris of some sort.
Right.
And then we have Steve's been grinding that French spot. You would say it again, the French what, Spillway?
Right, the creamy French Island Spillway.
Remember, it's orange, not red.
Right.
But, you know, so interesting to see where Steve's going to start out right away this morning. Oh, if we're ready to go, let's go out to the water, and then we'll kind of grab our chairs and pull up for an exciting day of Fantastic Four, bassing on the border, head-to-head fishing. Remember, it's the original head-to-head.
Yep. Yeah, we're going to move from there to there.
So Steve is started in that same spot.
Right.
But look at the tactic here. The white swim bait.
Yeah. That's something that he discovered as the day unfolded yesterday. Now, weather today is starting off in the like mid-60s down there. You can see it's overcast. Wind is not going to be too much of a factor today. It's going to be out of the northeast at about 3 miles an hour. And by the time lines go out, it's going to be switching around to the east-southeast. And the sun should be coming out a little bit later.
It's been hard all week. It's been hard.
So on the other side of that, you have Kevin. He's kind of focused, getting ready to make his first cast.
Yep. And Kevin is the only angler running aluminum boat with a tunnel hull.
I prepared all I can do. I'm always good as my preparation, and we'll see what happens.
The Slayer Ned heads.
There we go.
Wow, Steve is hooked up.
What the heck? Are you serious? Oh my God.
Oh, just snagged up. It's amazing when you get in that moving water like that and you set the hook, you're feeling your line move, but that's because of the water. And I think
I've played that game way too many times.
We've all reeled a little too long on a snag. But it does get the heart pumping.
But yeah, you're hoping that it's going to start moving at some point. It's so big it hasn't moved yet. Dude, you've been fighting that same snake for 5 minutes.
I thought that was a fish. Wow.
So we're watching Steve Mortenson and Kevin Rue.
All right, now we're looking at Steve again and Kevin Rue, part of our Fantastic Four matchups.
I'm anxious if Kevin starts putting some weight on the weigh live, if that's going to force Steve to move early. Or I'm just anxious to see how long Steve is willing to give this spot. He showed tremendous patience yesterday.
Yeah, he's snagged up again now. Yeah, I agree, my man. I mean, but how many fish reloaded in that spot from yesterday?
Wow.
Yeah. Steve Mortenson's still kind of... He's venturing further and further away, though. It might be just a difference of the camera angle.
I think it's just how his boat is positioned.
Yeah, the Spillway produced one keeper fish for Steve yesterday.
Right.
It was obviously the right fish.
Right. It was, yeah,
It wasn't
2.5.
Fast and Furious there yesterday.
No, he probably caught, I don't know, I would say 4 or 5 fish that he had to check and reweigh that were, that 114, 115. So It's hard because, you know, you're looking for 2-pound fish. You have fish that are just under it.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much patience that I would have today sitting there, especially when you're facing a guy like Kevin who has had some pretty good days.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm Steve, I'm going into today going, okay, I'm going to have to put 12 plus pounds on the board. That would be my mindset. And in 2 days of fishing that area, he's put about 6 to 7 pounds, probably 7 pounds in 2 days.
Yeah, the day one he fished it was his best day by far.
Yeah, he had.
If we go to the real or Head2Head website, we can look at the progression of his weight for Mortenson. So he had 412 day one.
Right, with 2 fish.
Yep, and then yesterday was the 2.5.
So, you know,
all those fish have came from the spillway.
All of them, right. And so if I'm Steve, I'm looking going, okay, 2 days produced, you know, about 7 pounds. I'm thinking I need 12 pounds today. I think it's a good thing that he started there. You know, if that's your most confident area, you know, go ahead, check it out. I don't know how patient I would be with just grinding like he did yesterday.
Yeah, it's a half an hour in already, and I mean, maybe it's the water temp. Maybe he's waiting for the sky to break up and open up. I don't know exactly what, but you would think if there's an hour and you haven't caught a head-to-head fish in there, then you'd be moving.
Right.
It's so, where is this one? What pool is this one on?
He is actually in Pool 8, and what you're looking at above the spillway is Lake Onalaska in Pool 7.
Okay.
And so, on my handy-dandy little map here, he is, like right in here.
Okay.
And so, you can look up and see Lake Onalaska in Pool 7, because right there is the lock and dam number 7. And then, yeah, he's in Pool 8.
So realistically, though, if he wanted to move someplace different, it would be a little bit of a haul for him, right?
Yeah, it would, because he's going to have to run back south through some backwater area, get to the Black River, and then run back up to the Clinton Street. You know, and it depends where he launched, because I'm not sure if there are. Well, it looks like there's some launches that are pretty close to that.
There's one right next to him.
Right.
If that's exactly where he is.
So, if he launched there, which would be a pretty cool strategy, because you know what? You dump in right where you're fishing, and if you want to make an adjustment, it is literally right there. You pull out, and you're able to, you know, hit the road and make some moves. I don't know. I'm not sure of the history that Steve has on the river of how he's going to be able, you know, if he has a lot of history, he'd be able to expand his water pretty easy.
Yep.
But if he doesn't have a lot of history, he's going to be limited by only a handful of confidence areas. And the 2 places that he's fished has been the French Island Spillway and then in the Black River around the Clinton Street boat landing. What an awesome fish catch.
Holes in my frog. I don't really like it.
So we're back with Kevin and Steve. Kevin has 1 fish. Kevin Rue has 1 fish for 2 pounds, 6 ounces. And Steve has yet to put a scoreable fish on the weigh live. Steve is throwing that Synchro again.
Sharpening his hooks.
Yep, he's sharpening.
He's hung up
the hook
a couple different times. He's not taking a gamble.
Yep.
You carry a file in your boat?
I do.
How often do you touch up your hooks?
It depends. If it's like if I'm fishing like a tube jig, or a tube, not a whole lot, because I'll just switch it out because it's such. I fish with a more of a light wire hook when I do the tube fishing, and so I'll just switch it out. But on larger baits like swim jigs or jerk baits or other things where I don't want to switch out hooks as much, absolutely I'll file them up. So now yes, Kevin's tying on a new frog. We're watching Steve. Now, Steve, this is the first time I've seen him fish some of the laydowns that have been on the shoreline.
I grab those things and I get my bait back, but with this format, I don't need to take a 2-minute penalty when I can retie here 20 seconds and get back to fishing, because those are the meanest fish on the river for sure. I knew it was a dogfish right when he smoked it like that too.
Worry about it.
Don't ask.
Now check this out. Steve, Spillway Steve is running. He's making a move. And so wow, it looks like he went into that a little hot.
He's flying, man.
Yeah, he's
a man on a mission right
he's
now.
zigging and zagging. But that, I mean, you talk about the right conditions to run. Look at how nice and flat this water is. And look at all the scenery he's just whipping past. But, so he must obviously not have launched at the Spillway. And if I'm willing to bet, I'm thinking that Steve is going to be running to that Black River area where we've seen him a couple other times.
All right, I'm going to have you on the front.
Wow.
Kevin's a little hung up.
Yep. Wow, look at Steve run. This is so cool. Main screen with Steve.
Now we got a slow no wake and then we're good. Oh man. Yep.
So now
Crazy,
they have a
man.
slow no wake to
Crazy.
go through.
Unbelievable. God. Yep. I decided to make a move. Had to make a move, man. Sat there for, I don't even know how much time went by. Half an hour, I think. 0 fish. Gotta change it up, man. Competing against Kevin Rue. He's already got 1 fish in the boat. So, I'm gonna go to a spot I haven't gone to all of Head2Head Fishing. Actually, every spot now that I'm gonna go to is all brand new spots. I haven't touched them all week. So, hopefully they reloaded. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna fish a wing dam, I think, first. Give that a little bit of time. And then I'm gonna go and try, I got some backwater spots by Goose Island, on Upper Goose Island. Then I got some that are closer to the river channel. We're gonna fish some cut bank. And just stick it out and see what happens, man. Still got some time left. So we'll see what happens. It's tough today. I don't know if this cloud cover is really affecting a lot, if the fish are just kind of scattering everywhere, but we'll see, man. So, just gotta grind it out. Can't believe I didn't get a fish there. I had 1 good bite, and that was it. 1 bite. And it didn't commit. Frustrating, man. That's all right. Still got time.
In a great area. But on the flip side, Steve is in an artificial area around all those docks and stuff. Could be a lot of riprap along those shorelines as well.
Right.
I like those little spots like on Steve's screen where you got the lily real close to the bank there.
Yep. It's just, you know, when you look at the different areas, it's just different types of cover that are there. I mean, look at right there, you know, it transitions from rock to grass, and right out in front there's lily pads. You know, that is a classic spot to fish. So Steve right now is fishing a little wing dam.
So they put those wing dams in there for the purpose to break the current up?
Yeah. Yep, to break the current up and protect the shoreline. Just kind of control the flow through that main river. Otherwise, you'd have so many things washing out. And what's crazy is if you ever grab a map of the Mississippi River, all these little black lines are wing dams.
Oh, okay.
You know, and there's some
wow.
There's some areas where it's just absolutely crazy.
Right.
And so when you're running that main river, never ever run outside of the channel, because those wing dams, some of them literally go to the edge of the channel or close to it. And a lot of times guys will be running and then they'll get off the main river and start running, you know, up along the shore, and they lose their entire lower units.
This past week's probably been the worst week of frog fishing I've ever seen on this place.
Oh! Come on. Dang it, little guy. I don't know.
So he's using one of those top water.
That one pretty close, man. I thought it was a lot smaller than that.
Boy, look at the current. I think right there is a wing dam, because you can see all the water.
I haven't caught any fish. I'm gonna wait just to be safe. I don't think it's gonna make it, but we shall see. I think it's close. 0. Nope. 112. God dang it. Close, man. Come on.
Look at all the different seams of current that's around him right now.
Right where that fish should be.
Boy, Steve is really moving around this morning after he left that spillway.
So now Steve's moving, Kevin's still fishing. Getting blue contour lines. I think that's what color those are. That means it's a fantastic 4 matchup. This is our 4 anglers that won the last 3 days to progress into day 4. This is between Kevin Rue and Steve Mortenson. They're fishing to move into tomorrow's Championship Friday event.
Who Kevin is, you know, he's mainly just had that trolling motor down and working all these different areas. And Steve fished about an hour or so this morning at Creamy French Island Spillway. And then he's been kind of running and gunning, and it sounds like he's in that Goose Island area, because like I said, I thought I heard Cade mention that he saw Steve. Steve's got a pretty distinct boat. He's got a wrap on there. So if you were to see Steve's boat, it's pretty easy to recognize from a distance.
Steve Mortenson looks like he's in a bassy area.
Yeah. Could we see Steve throw a frog for the first time?
Looks like that's what we are looking at. Mortenson, here we go. We're back to that match.
So what's interesting is Kevin Rue lost that big fish before, right? He dropped a waypoint on it. I know that he is going to be going back to that area. But I expected, you know, again, I didn't expect the Fantastic Four to struggle this much.
Right. Right.
Steve Mortenson still waiting for his first scoreable.
He said that the spots he was going to go to, Steve did, was nothing that he's fished yet this week.
Right, right.
Now that doesn't mean that other anglers haven't fished this stuff yet.
Right. Because we think that he's in that Goose Island area, and we knew that he's camping in the Goose Island area, so it would make sense that that's an area that he's been pre-fishing.
too long. I'm just gonna idle. Taking too long. Save myself a few seconds.
So Steve is he wants to make his way to the other side of the channel there, so he just started the big motor to do it a little quicker. How about you?
I go in hot streaks. I can't do anything. I like my English and all that kind of stuff. I'm a straight shooter.
We both know our English is kind of screwed up.
I'm a straight shooter. I just aim and hit. Sometimes I can make the long shots, but
all right. Well, we should play for money sometime.
I'm not real good at like. Oh, Mortenson's hooked up.
Yep.
Is he gonna go?
I think it's gonna be a little shy. What about darts?
Oh, I love darts.
Are you?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna stay away from you.
I love darts.
Nope. 113.
Oh, just a little shy, 113.
I know.
So,
thanks everybody for tuning. I know Andy just said that too, but that's awesome. Such great fans of Head to Head.
foosball.
Terrible at foosball. Absolutely terrible.
All right, we'd probably be even then. So if we did bar Olympics, then me and you would be pretty competitive.
Yeah, we don't.
You'd probably clean me up on the dartboard. I might do okay in pool.
Good. I wasn't even on. I had my cough button pushed. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Head to Head Fishing. This is day 5 of Bassing on the Border. Remember, we're on the Mississippi River, LaCrosse Pools 7, 8, and 9. I'm Matt Trott. Standing next to me, Andy. What is going on, buddy?
Oh, man. Championship Friday. Can anything be more exciting than coming up to what's led to this moment? We look at all this week. There has been excitement, emotion. It has been educational. There's been high points, low points, train wrecks. I mean, there's been everything. We've seen broken equipment. We've seen boats stuck. We've seen everything.
Yep.
I have no doubt that today is going to be just as exciting because these guys are going to leave everything on the water today.
All right. So Steve wanted to share a message with us right away this morning. Let's see what he had to say.
So, good morning, guys. I just want to give a big shout out and say thanks to the guys in the studio, Matt and Andy. You guys have been doing an awesome job all week, okay? But, I got a big but. On a friendly note, I got a bone to pick with you guys. I heard you guys got a nickname for me now. Are you really? Seriously? You guys serious? You call me Spillway Steve, huh? Wow. I'll take it. You know, it got me to the Fin 4. I'll take it, man. You know, I mean, that's funny. All of a sudden, people are like texting me, "Hey, yeah, you're Spillway Steve now." I'm like, "Oh man, I'm gonna change the name in the back of my shirt to Spillway Steve." But you know what? It got me where I am today, so I'm happy with that. But that's why I'm just going to start again today, so we'll see what happens. But I might actually go to a different pool today, too, so I might launch up on 7 a little later if I don't get some here. But I just had to say that was pretty funny, so I'll take the nickname. It works for me, so but let's see what happens today.
See, what I think is funny about that is, again, that's something that came out of the chat. I'm putting all the blame on the chat yesterday. They were the ones that mentioned.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna own that. I'm owning it. You know, but it's awesome. You know, Steve is right. Absolutely, it did get him to the Fantastic Four, now into the you know, on championship day. But yeah, that's pretty funny. But see, here's the thing: we're not going to see any of this marketing money. I mean, we are like marketing gold sitting here. Right?
We're something all right.
I mean, have you gotten a dime about Stevie Free?
Nope.
No, I haven't. You know, what are we going to get out of this Spillway Steve?
Right.
You know?
Oh, there's Steve hooked up.
It doesn't feel that big. Nope. Poor little guy. Got a weird shape to him.
So it looks like Steve's starting off with that wacky rig Senko. And then that other bait was the white swim bait that we saw do quite a bit of damage with. And he did catch a lot of fish that were around 115, 114. Not yesterday, but the day before, he caught quite a few.
In the comments.
2 fish that have stolen my worm. There's definitely a fish here. Gotta find a big one.
Back with Cade and Steve.
This looks so excellent.
Oh, cast over it. I don't want to do that.
What's that noise that you hear in the background, Matt?
It's
It's
kind of free
flowing
fishing
water.
right now. I'm gonna turn around.
Sounds like it may be really
Jig
close
on
to
it.
a
There's
spillway.
good current scene right there.
You're gonna get us in trouble.
Just trying to see if I can get a dumb one on my way down.
Yeah, it's not safe that we're paired up. You know, if we're back in school, our desks would be separated a long time ago.
Yep. All right, back over.
Wow, this is insane.
We're still on our third
There's
and
so
fourth
many little
place match
pockets
here.
on this stretch. It looks amazing.
Back with Cade and SW Steve.
So he's switching back and forth between that white swim bait
Yep.
and
Definitely a
the
lot of bait flicking in there.
wacky rig. Cade's seen a lot of bait fish.
You know, Steve mentioned that he might be switching to a different pool. I wonder if he launched at that launch that is right at the spillway.
I can't believe the motor's not sticking yet. It's going to any second. There it is right there. I was like, what the heck?
Because he could pull up from that launch and then go to that launch. Because in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong, the map I'm looking at shows that there's a launch right by the French Island Spillway. And then it shows there's a launch on top side of the French Island Spillway. Is that right? Yeah, I did. Back watching Cade and Steve.
And when we get up here to the end, then I'm done with this spot. And we're gonna move.
So Steve was just mentioning that when he gets up here,
at the spillway.
when he gets up to the end of the spillway, he's gonna make a move.
I should have known better. pull up in here anytime and just turn on just like that. And I was marking fish on the locator this morning too. Before we started, I drove around a little bit and I could see them on there.
Aaron's on a roll this morning.
Oh, wow.
You know, the question I have is, Steve says he's marking a lot of fish in that location.
Yep.
That doesn't necessarily mean they're bass, though, right? He caught a very respectable walleye in that spot as well.
Correct. You know, the one thing when you look at your electronics and you're marking fish, you have to learn, you know, how fish are, you know, either spaced out, right? You know, where either the fish are tightly together or whether the fish are a little bit more spaced out. And, you know, to me, when you get in, you know, shallower water, and I don't know how deep this area is that Steve is fishing, but I think it becomes harder in shallower water to tell, you know, what fish are when you're going through, you know, and obviously side imaging and other technology make it a lot easier to.
Alright, I think I'm done. Done. Spillway Steve, out of the spillway. Time to make a move.
Check that out. He was throwing a buzzbait around.
Once again, another slow day at the spillway.
See if I can find that video.
Oh, that's fine. I'm just gonna check.
So now Steve is just checking into the weigh live, and he's going to find out that Cade's caught one for 2 pounds 11 ounces.
And he caught one. Yeah, 211.
So that's such a dynamic part about head-to-head fishing. You can see, exactly where your competitor is at, and you know, or I should say, you're able to feel the stress right away.
Long runs.
No,
they're quick runs, and he's getting right up. He's fishing right away.
Right. So this is interesting watching Steve. So Steve did not launch at the boat landings that were right next to the spillway.
Man, he's flying.
Yeah, he is. He is. That is just that. It just makes me want to go there just to drive. And Cade, he also is making a move.
That had to be exactly what that was, where Andy Lee was fishing yesterday, that long stretch where all of a sudden there was that blown path through that.
Yep. Which we can ask Kyle about that today too, because he was Kyle was his cameraman yesterday. Man, so many firsts have happened this week.
Yep.
You know, you look at.
We're rolling right now. I just want to say something to Head2Head. It's awesome what you guys are doing for anglers like us that want to have that opportunity to do something with our career and make a name for yourself and brand yourself and get yourself out there. I mean, it means a lot. Besides just the fishing aspect of the tournament, it's cool that you provide this platform for us to do this. You know, it's definitely a unique experience. It was definitely different. I know I definitely want to do it again next year, and as soon as that schedule opens up, I'll be one of the first to sign up. I'm really looking forward to it, and we'll see what happens. But I just wanted to say thanks again. You know, it means a lot. to have this opportunity and to be able to fish against some of these other guys, it's quite an experience. It's definitely one I won't forget, that's for sure. So let's just see what happens now the rest of the day and catch a few fish.
Wow, well said. Very well said.
Yep, and Steve's been doing a great job this week. I mean,
yeah.
2 choices I'm thinking. Choice 1, fish right here in the Black River area where they released all the fish from Saturday and Sunday's tournament, because those fish now have had plenty of time to relax and calm down, and a lot of them are just going to stay in this area. They're just going to find that first available cover and just make summer homes out of that area. So there's a lot of fish in the Black River. Or option 2, take a little extra time, trailer up, and go drive and watch over on Pool 7, which hasn't gotten much pressure, and the fishing's pretty good over there. So I got a few minutes to decide what I'm going to do. Well, I have to make that decision. I just don't know if it's going to hurt me to trim.
yeah, a lot going on.
Great thought process there. That's what I love about Head2Head. You get to see these decisions unfold and the thought process behind it, and what each angler is thinking. What I would have to know is what is going to give me the most confidence and allow me just to fish. Because there's been times where I've gone, and Kevin's hooked up.
Small fish.
Maybe. But there's been times where you go fishing and you're not confident, and all your mind is thinking about is that you shouldn't be here, or you should be doing this, as opposed to where you're fishing right now. And
Kevin Rue just hit something in his little tunnel boat.
So if I was Steve, I might do a combination. I might say, you know what? With those fish being released, I'm going to go to what I consider my highest confidence spot in the Black River, and I'm going to give it 15, 20 minutes. And if I don't get something going in 15, 20 minutes, then I'm throwing it on the trailer, because then, it's just like what Trey said this morning. The first area he went through, he had to go through it to get it out of his head. Because if you don't get it out of your head, it's going to be in the back of your mind, and it's going to interfere with you being able to concentrate. So if I was Steve, I probably would go hit your confidence spot in the Black River, give it the 15, 20 minutes that you need to either put an X through it or to stay, and then move on with your day. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to sit there and go, oh man, I wonder if I should have at least tried it.
Those fish. After an event like we just had that past week, and that Saturday and Sunday, 2 big tournaments there, if those fish are there, what's thought process? Is it ethical, not ethical? And I'm not trying to say that that's the way Steve's thinking.
No,
I mean, for me, if that's the thing, if I know there's a couple hundred fish possibly still there, I would potentially try it. But in the moral aspect of it all, is it something that you should just go find your own fish, or in a tournament situation? Well, like I said, I'm not trying to stir the pot saying Steve's doing that. I'm just questioning, because if he knows there's a couple hundred fish there that potentially ready to eat again, it's not. I don't think it's a terrible idea.
No, it's not. And that question is actually kind of a debated question among anglers. And there's some people that just are adamantly against it. There's other people that, hey, it's a part of fishing, right? And the biggest thing when you look at retreads is when you're fishing them, they've been caught, they've been put in the boat, they've been weighed, they've been put under a lot of stress. And so a lot of times you can go and try and fish them, and they're not going to be too active, right? But what Steve is saying is, hey, it's been almost a week, right? these fish are going to start becoming more active. I absolutely think that, I wouldn't be afraid to try it, absolutely.
And I like this comment here. Well, I mean, Steve's not fishing for $5,000. He's part of that 3rd and 4th place match. But cashing a check coming out of this event with some, with some confidence rolling into. I know Steve fishes the Wisco series.
Yep.
And any other tournaments. It just have to make you feel good. After 5 days, hey man, I hung with some of the best anglers.
Oh yeah.
In this area, in this event, for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And like I said, fishing for the retreads, it's just part of it.
Right.
It's a strategy. It's part of it.
Yeah, and each individual person may be different. I mean, you may have a moral and say, I don't want to. I won't play that game. That's fine.
Yeah. It's actually very similar to like when you talk about spawning tournaments.
Bedded fish, yep.
Right? So, it's part of it. And one of the reasons that I'm such a huge fan of head-to-head is you eliminate a lot of that controversy. In head-to-head, there's no such thing as retreads. In head-to-head, there's no thing as taking a fish away from its bed. You catch a fish, it's out of water for a minute, you weigh it, you put it back, and it goes back.
Yep.
So that's why I'm such a huge fan. But in the traditional style tournaments, yeah, absolutely, it's a strategy.
Or there's another spillway. So Spillway 2 for Spillway Steve. I could try that one too. And that one's not far. That one's right up this way too. That one I haven't touched all week either. So that's another spot. It's got a lot of deeper water by it.
Steve's water is expanding the more he's thinking.
Spillways just don't seem to be producing. I think I got too much pressure on the spillway all week. I don't know, scratching my brain.
I think that was Steve that just went past John.
No fish that way.
He's telling him there's no fish that way.
Yeah, now we're riding with Steve.
There's Cade. It almost seems like Cade is a spring right now. He is just under attention, just waiting to go poof.
Yeah. Oh boy. Steve is by another structural
high current situation
area.
Like, how many spillways does this guy know? This one doesn't do as good as the other one, though, but I thought I would just give it a shot. It took a few minutes to get over here. Oop, that's the wrong rod. Threw the wrong rod. Not the other one. That's what I want.
So it looks like Cade's about to make another move as we listen to Steve.
Yep. Yeah, Cade mentioned he's just going to idle up to an area.
Nice thing about this one is deeper. This one's got a lot more depth to it than the other spillway.
Oh, it paid off.
Wow.
Hooked up for Steve Mortenson.
Oh, my drag's too loose. Come on. Well, it's gonna be close. Might might be a good sign that it came over here. And net this one. Just to be safe. Oh, that one might make it. It's gonna be really close.
Yeah, it looks thick.
Mm-hmm.
That might go, man. Might have been a good idea to come over here.
Just remember, Cade has one
Spillway
fish for
number
2
2.
pounds 11 ounces.
Yep.
Zeros.
Yes.
Listening to Morty putting one to the scale.
Oh yeah. Look, oh, what the heck? Turned it off. That's weird. Shut off on me. It said 2-1, so 0.
Yes.
Come on. What? 115. Let me do it again. First time it said.
That bounces right
Yep.
there.
Yep. Zeros.
Like tell it's that. Yep.
There we go. Oh, my shirt's caught. Let's see. Oh, dang it, looks like 115.
Yeah.
No.
So
So
close.
close, man. So close.
So close.
That's another one that was close, but no cigar.
I like that.
It's weird to get one right away at the beginning, and that was it.
I was just sitting here thinking the same thing.
Yeah, it's so bizarre.
Listening to Steve. Steve's been contemplating whether or not to stay on this pool or to jump up to pool
There's something
7.
up by these rocks.
Yeah, right now Steve is on pool 8.
I mean, I can see why all the pan fishermen are here. There's a lot of bait fish here. I saw that guy catch a bluegill, that guy catch a crappie. It's a lot of fish. The bass should be feeding on the panfish. That's like hundreds of minnows. If you watch right behind it. To see them all come up. See them all?
So that's Steve
Here,
Mortenson.
I'll do it again for you. You can see them. Lots of minnows here. It's like every cast, minnows are coming up. No.
So Steve is trying to put together a pattern of some kind, you know, with the feeding, you know, with tons of bait fish in that area,
Wind
but
might
he's
be
still
blowing
looking
all the
for
bait
a
fish right in here.
2-pounder as Cade Laufenberg has one scoreable fish for 2 pounds and 11 ounces.
them all.
This is our 3rd and 4th place match for today.
It makes for a very, very frustrating
Missed it. Oh, there he
long
is.
day.
Oh!
Oh, that's a nice one. Oh, that's a nice one. That's a nice one. That's a nice one.
Morty is hooked up.
Come on, stay on. Stay on. Oh my God, stay on, stay on,
So-
stay on, stay on. Oh my God. Come on.
He is against Cade. Oh, wow.
Oh, that is a nice fish.
Wow.
Woo! Yeah,
Cade's got a
baby.
211 right
Ah.
now. This just
After all
got
that.
interesting.
Yes.
Does that fish count though? Because
Oh
he
my
didn't catch it by the
goodness.
spillway?
Come on.
I'll
Yes,
let you
yes,
ask
yes,
that
yes,
question.
yes.
Yeah.
Me and Matt are in
Yes.
enough trouble this week.
Oh man. All right, where's that scale? Oh, that's a beautiful fish.
That's that white swim jig.
Zeros.
I have zeros.
All right. That is a nice quality bass right there. Hit still. 214.
Whoa!
214 on the board.
Nice fish.
Thank
He's not
you.
only on the board, he's 3 ounces up.
Again, a match with
I had a
Cade
feeling
going
when I
down
saw
to
all
the
those
ounces.
bait fish over here busting, all these little minnows, and the wind's blowing everything, and there's this nice weed edge right here. I'm just simply throwing a white chatterbait. That's all I'm throwing. So let me get that entered.
I hope big time catch by Steve.
Yeah, huge. I hope we get a video of Cade getting the update.
I don't know if Cade can take that update today. He is wound so tight.
Absolutely. Look at that last fish catch for Steve. Got him so jacked up. He had to take his shirt off. His tournament shirt.
Here we go. Fish up.
Oh, hooked up again.
Get out of there. Get out of there. Oh, not as big as I was hoping. Nope, not gonna make it. All right, I'm not gonna have this one land on the carpet though. All right, just a little guy. It's 2 fish in this area. Not bad. Beneath the gunnel.
Nice release.
I made sure that time.
Is he throwing a rapture right there? It looked like it's definitely
That one was
a bleeded
way
jig.
back up in the weeds.
Yep. Here we're back with a split screen watching Cade and Steve. Cade has 1 fish for 2 pounds, 11 ounces. Steve has 1 fish for 2 pounds, 14 ounces.
So this was the same matchup I was in last week. So I fished the 3rd and 4th place after losing to Mitch in the semifinals in the Fantastic Four. So I mean, I was disappointed, not because I necessarily lost, because I just didn't catch fish that day. I didn't put any pressure on Mitch.
Right.
I mean, I was kind of a disaster that day. But what these guys, and they probably have the same mindset here, is, you know, I had lost, but when I came back on Friday, I was like, you know what, I had a terrible day. My goal that day was to have the heaviest weight out of anyone that was fishing that day.
Yep.
I knew I couldn't win, but I knew if I could come back, have a good day, I could still take home a nice check on and still finish strong after a tough day on the water. And
Right. So talk about fishing for this 5 hours. Is it, you know, you already said it's pretty intense. So when you're done fishing that 5 hours, I mean, are you like, wow, I'm done?
the first day, you're like, all right, that was awesome. Especially if it's your first event, it's like, man, that was awesome.
Yep.
Second day, it's like, you start to get a little more tired. Even if you win, you're like, man, that was awesome. I know I'm gonna fish now. 2 more days and I can win the whole thing.
Right.
But by that third day, and especially after the fourth day, I mean, after that fourth day, I mean, Mitch and I talked, and he's like, man, I'm taking off. I'm going to go to LaCrosse. I'm like, dude, I am worn out. I am done. I am sleeping in tomorrow.
Right.
Got him.
Oh, looks like Steve
Another
is
nice
hooked
one.
up again.
Another nice one. Another nice one. Stay on.
Steve
Stay on.
might have made the motor
Get out
sock
the
move of the
Get out
day.
the weeds. No. No. Yes. Come on. Get in the net. Jeez, I
Oh my
should've
God, he
flipped
picked it
him.
up in the net.
He was so much bigger in the water. Oh. I don't know. That one's gonna make it or not. Doesn't look like it. There's 3 fish in this area. I'll wait just to be safe. 0. I don't think she's gonna make it though. Nope, not even. 1-7. You were fun though. You were fun. Yes. More fish here, man. I'm excited.
So he might be
I got a pattern.
figuring something out here.
I got a pattern going.
Definitely. I mean, you saw Steve, he didn't catch a whole lot of fish for the first couple hours, and now he's definitely gotten dialed into something.
Yep. So now we're back with Cade and Steve. Cade's about to make a move. Cade just caught that fish not too long ago, so he has a total of 2 fish, 5 pounds, 2 ounces. Steve has a total of 1 fish for 2 pounds, 14 ounces, but Steve is kind of refining a pattern. He's been catching a couple of fish that have been right around that 2 pound mark. And obviously he just caught that one not too long ago, 2 pounds, 14 ounces. So this could be exciting.
I think this match will probably go down to about the last cast again.
Yeah, Cade is, man, he has been in some slugfests this week.
Well, for a while there, it was a 3-ounce battle, and that's what pretty much every one of Cade's matchups have been this week.
Right.
So remember that code is H2H10.
I was gonna move, but I see bait fish busting over here now. So I think I'm gonna go over here. A lot of bait fish.
Week for that as well. We're working on finding a company that can make us buffs for head-to-head as well.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Steve.
Oh. Woo.
Steve just
So
swung
I
in.
came back again. There's a lot of fish here.
They do.
You know what? It has just been the past 2 weeks, you know, when you go down to the Capital Clash, when you look at the event that we had here, this past week was just, it was excitement, it was learning, it was just so much fun.
So there you have it. Head to head. Pretty cool, huh? So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Give it a thumbs up. Click the bell notification. And if you want to see any of the baits that I was using, I'll put some links down below. All you guys got to do is click down there, and I'll have some links. Click on those. You'll get discounts. And you also help support my channel so I can keep the channel going for you guys. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the head-to-head. And I plan on fishing it again in 2021. They already got the schedule out, so I'm really excited for that. So other than that, you guys have a good one, and I'll see you guys on the water.